The money rule. Most people never learn. Most people will work for 40 years and still never become wealthy. Not because they didn't work hard, but because no one ever told them this one rule about money. After consulting various financial advisors who have been advising individuals and businesses for years, I've realized something surprising. The best financial advice you will ever hear is incredibly simple, but almost nobody follows it. Later in this video, I'll show you 5 assets ordinary people use to quietly become millionaires. But first, we need to talk about the rule that makes all of it work. Most people think becoming wealthy is complicated. They think it requires a high salary, a brilliant business idea, or some kind of financial genius. But the truth is much simpler. The best financial advice you will ever hear is this: own assets that pay you and buy them as early as possible. That single principle quietly separates people who build wealth from those who stay stuck financially for decades. Assets vs. liabilities. Here's the problem. Most people spend their lives buying things that take money out of their pocket. New cars, expensive gadgets, luxury upgrades. Things that feel good in the moment, but slowly drain their financial future. Wealthy people think differently. Instead of focusing on what to buy, they focus on what to own. They buy assets. Things like businesses, stocks, real estate, or investments that grow over time. Why? Because assets do something your salary cannot. They pay you even when you're not working. Your job pays you for your time. But a strong asset can pay you for years, sometimes even decades. The power of compounding. But there's another piece most people miss, and this part is incredibly powerful. Time. Money invested early behaves very differently because of something called compound growth. When your money earns returns, and those returns start earning their own returns, growth begins to accelerate. At first it feels slow, almost invisible. But over time, it begins to snowball. Imagine pushing a snowball down a hill. At first it barely moves. Then it gets bigger. Then it starts moving faster. Eventually, it becomes unstoppable. That's exactly how compound growth works. This is why someone who starts investing at 25 often ends up far wealthier than someone who starts at 40. Even if the second person invests more money. Time matters more than intensity. But here's another truth many people misunderstand. Income alone does not create wealth. Because there exists doctors, lawyers, and executives earning 6 figures who are still financially fragile. And there are people with ordinary jobs, quietly building portfolios worth millions. The difference isn't intelligence, and it isn't luck. It is behavior. Wealthy people develop one simple habit. They consistently turn income into assets, every month, every year, for decades. They don't try to get rich overnight. They simply refuse to stay poor forever. The formula for wealth is actually very simple. Earn income. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference into assets. Repeat this process for 20 to 30 years. It sounds almost too simple, but nearly every financially independent person follows some version of this. Not perfectly, just consistently. 5 assets that build millionaires. Earlier, I mentioned something important. The assets that ordinary people use to become millionaires. Not celebrities, not lottery winners, just everyday investors who followed a system. Let's go through them. First, stock market index funds. This is one of the simplest ways to build long-term wealth. Instead of trying to pick winning companies, you buy the entire market. Funds that track indexes like the S&P 500 index allow investors to own hundreds of companies in one investment. Many financial advisors recommend consistent monthly investing, not timing the market, just staying invested. Second, real estate. Real estate has created wealth for generations. Why? Because it combines two powerful benefits: income and appreciation. Rental properties can generate cash flow while the property increases in value over time. Some investors also invest through real estate funds like the Vanguard Real Estate ETF. Third, business ownership. Owning a business can dramatically increase income potential. Unlike a salary, business income is not limited by hours worked. Businesses can grow, scale, and they can eventually be sold. Many wealthy individuals built their first real wealth through entrepreneurship. Fourth, intellectual property. This is one of the most underrated modern assets. Things like books, online courses, software, music, or digital content. Creators on platforms like YouTube build assets that can generate income for years. Once created, these assets can continue earning long after the work is done. Fifth, retirement investments. Many ordinary millionaires quietly build wealth through retirement investing. They contribute regularly. They stay invested. They allow compound growth to work for decades. It may not look exciting, but it works. Where should you start? At this point, you might be wondering, where should someone actually start? Because knowing about assets is one thing, but knowing what to do first is what really matters. Here's the approach many financial advisors recommend. Step 1. Build an emergency fund. Ideally, around 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This protects you from unexpected events, and it prevents you from selling investments during difficult times. Think of it as your financial safety net. Step 2. Start investing into low-cost index funds. Funds tracking the S&P 500 index allow you to invest in hundreds of companies at once. The strategy is simple. Invest consistently, every month, and stay invested for the long term. Step 3. Increase your investment rate as your income grows. Whenever your salary increases, your investments should increase too. Instead of upgrading your lifestyle immediately, upgrade your investments first. Step 4. Diversify later into other assets. As your investments grow, you can begin exploring things like real estate or business ownership. The key is to start simple, then expand over time. This approach works because it combines 3 powerful principles: low risk, consistency, and long-term compounding. The real secret to wealth. The biggest myth about wealth is that it comes from one big moment: a lucky investment, a massive promotion, or a breakthrough business idea. But real wealth is built through thousands of small financial decisions: saving a little more, investing a little earlier, avoiding unnecessary debt, choosing assets instead of liabilities. Over time, those small decisions compound into something powerful. So if you remember only one thing from this video, remember this: your job funds your lifestyle, but your assets fund your freedom. And the sooner you start building them, the sooner your money starts working harder than you do. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the Quiet Wealth Blueprint, because on this channel, we talk about the quiet strategies that build real wealth over time. Not hype, not shortcuts, just principles that actually work. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe.